Hi folks, welcome to another episode of the Riflechair channel. And today took this wonderful Yugoslavian Mauser out for a spin, put some ammunition through it, some hand loads and some factory ammunition, and very happy with the performance. First thing we had to do though was bore sight the optical scope, which is a Zrak ON76 Bravo. Fixed 4-power scope with sunshade built into the objective lens, which is pretty cool. And so went through this process of zeroing it with the rear sight. I'll put some information there and below. If you want to know more as to how this went, stay tuned. Okay, so when zeroing the Zrak scope, the ON76 Bravo, in order for me to, I need to adjust for windage, so I need to use these little set screws you see inside the rear mount. Right, so if I want to, I need to move the reticle to the left, so in this case I need to back this out and drive the other set screw located on the other side of the scope. As you see here, I need to move that in. Let's put this down. I'm going to back this out. An absolutely mandatory must for all gun kits is an adjustable screwdriver with multiple heads. And so what I'm doing is I'm bore sighting the rifle, looking through the bore at a target 100 meters away, and we're pretty darn close. Make a final adjustment here. See if I can get that going a bit more. Just a bit too much. Back and forth like a yo-yo. We'll back this one out. So I've got my reticle centered as best I can. That's where I want to keep it. And then I adjust the amount, because with these scopes the field of view doesn't change. It's the reticle that moves. With these mechanical scopes, it's the reticle that moves. And so okay, we're in the black, I'm pretty sure. And adjust it one more time. And one thing I will say about these scopes is that you got to get your eyes pretty close to it to get that full field of view. To start, I'm going to be running this Pervy 198 grain factory ammunition. It's anemic, very underpowered. I don't think it qualifies as M80. I think it's M80. But No, that's 760. Anyway, whatever the convention of the day was, I think it's pretty much underpowered built to North American specifications. Okay, so we're gonna probably find ourselves printing low on this target because of that. Let's see what happens. Just to be on the safe side. This is the first shot. Dead center, 6 o'clock. That means 1, 2, 3, 4 inches low, which is expected for this. This is not bad for a rifle that has just been bore sighted. Windage is perfect. We're shooting for group size now. I'm going to have to slick up that bolt. Got a flyer in there. Let's finish off these 2 extra rounds. Gotta love the Mauser 98. Now this is a really lightweight profile barrel and it's heating up, so we're going to give her a little break. Yeah, she's spraying all over the place. Right, we're back. So what do you think? So essentially, you know, we're talking about a rifle. It's not bedded. It's not free floated. We've got good foretip pressure right here at the forestock, right underneath the sling swivel. You know, it's making good contact right here. You can actually move it if you use your hands to press up on the barrel, but you know, when you press down on it, there's no movement at all. The barrel channel is pretty much making contact for pretty much this entire area here. We've got some material in here where there is no contact, but this entire area on either side of the barrel is making firm contact with the forestock. And so, you know, after zeroing, I'm playing around a little bit with the dials. I'll tell you about that, is that with these dials, you, hang on here. These dials, you got to be really careful, because inside there is a spring and a ball bearing. So when you make your adjustments, like I've zeroed the windage here, where you get those click sounds, you remove the screws on here and you pull that cap off. There's a little tiny spring and a ball bearing that's probably 1.5–2 millimeters across. You lose that, it's gone. It's going to disappear on you. You'll never see it again. So when you remove these caps to zero your turrets, be very cognizant of the fact that if that's there. You're also going to need an extremely fine. You're going to need an extremely fine screwdriver in order to get into where these, right? I mean, that's a very fine screwdriver head. You need to be very careful. It's a very thin thread that's also on those screws, so you don't want to over tension them. So we're zeroed now, and so far as groups are concerned, easily 1.25 inches, easily, without doing anything to this rifle. Now, I will say that the 198 grain full metal jacket Purvey ammunition, that is factory ammunition, gave me about an 8-inch group off of bags. So that's not good. That really is terrible ammunition that came from Yugoslavia. No wonder it was on sale. So there's that. However, the hand loads that I put together with, a good nice charge of IMR 4064 were in the 1.25 inch group. Those are 3 round clusters. And the reason why I kind of kept it down to 3 round groups is because this is a very, very thin, this is a hunting barrel. Now, sure, the Bosnians used these rifles to good effect in the Yugoslavian war as a sniping weapon or a sniping platform. This is still a relatively lightweight hunting rifle for a Model 98 action, I should say. This thin tapered barrel here, right? So it does heat up pretty fast. So I kind of tried to get a bit of an idea as to what accuracy is like without having the groups open up too much, because this barrel channel heating up, hot barrel, there's something to take into consideration. So about 1.25 inches was pretty standard for the day. So I'm very, very happy with that. So we know that this is essentially a hunting rifle, and although it was used as a sniping weapon in the Yugoslavian Civil War, is 1.25 inches good enough? Well, I can tell you this. The action on this is very rough. There is milling marks on the inside of the receiver. It is rough, and I will say that having to lift the bolt, eject the case while keeping your eyes looking through the scope, keeping your target under observation while you manipulate the bolt is not easy to do with a really rough bolt like this. And I think that that's probably a situation that is still common amongst today's modern Zastava Model 98 Mausers. I don't think that has changed. I think it's pretty consistent. And this is not a new situation. It's just something that's been there for a long, long time. Maybe Zastava should replace their tooling heads a little bit more often in the mill or in the manufacturing plant, but they don't. So some of them are a little bit on the rough side, very much like the military Model 98 that I was shooting today. But ultimately it comes down to performance. So 1.25 minutes of angle is probably not suitable for a sniping platform, but in a big city where some shots are 300 meters might be a long shot for them, it's perfectly suitable for that purpose. And I would have no problem taking this out for hunting, for a 300 meter shot. I would have no problem with that whatsoever, especially when a lot of the the computational requirements of trying to figure out what your BDC is pretty much taken care of with these BDC turrets. I'll be running some 195 Hornadies out of this next. I'll be testing the bullet drop compensating turret that is built into the cam that is built into this scope. So if you want to know more about that, stay tuned. I don't know when that video is going to come out. Hopefully when I get some time on a range that's got some longer distances so I can reach out and touch that steel, we'll be testing the BDC at that time. But at least we got her zeroed, so it's a success. Stay tuned for more on this rifle, folks. It's an interesting platform. It's got some history behind it, and there's lots of them out there, but not configured kind of in the traditional way you see here. I like what I see, and I'm looking forward to more. Hope you're all doing, folks. Riflechair signing off, and as always, Maple Leaf out.